Welcome to day 64 of our school year. All right, let's get down to our beginning fraction. We have a total of 180 school days, and we are on day 64. Let's find the factors of our numerator, 64. Two factors we always know are 1 and the number itself. Using the commutative property of multiplication, we can also write it as 64 times 1. Now we're going to go through our divisibility rules in order, so after 1, we try 2. The rule for 2 is that it ends in an even number. It does. So 2 is a factor. 2 times 32. 32 times 2. Then we try 3. The rule for 3 is that we add the digits together. 6 plus 4 equals 10. 10 is not a multiple of 3, so 3 is not a factor. We try 4. The rule for 4, you can check if 2 is a factor. If the second one with it is even, it is, so 4 is a factor. 4 times 16. 16 times 4. We try 5. The rule for 5 is that it ends in a 0 or 5. It ends in a 4, so 5 is not a factor. We try 6. The rule for 6 is that both 2 and 3 are factors. 2 is, but 3 is not, so 6 is not a factor. We try 7. 7, 14, 21, 28, 35, 42, 49, 56, 63, 70. Nope, 64 is not in that list, so 7 is not a factor. We try 8, 8, 16, 24, 32, 40, 48, 56, 64. Yes, 8 is. 8 times 8, so 64 is actually a perfect square. 8 times 8 when your two factors are the same. There's no counting our natural numbers between 8 and 8, so we're done. Let's list our factors from least to greatest. 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64. We have 7 factors, so that means it is more than 2 factors and it is composite. But now we need to find what our greatest common factor is. So let's start with our greatest factor of 64. Keep your shaded separated from your unshaded. And make sure there's 64 in each group. So I have 6. Here's 56. Plus 4 is 60. Plus 4 more is 64. I have 52 left over, so that means 64 is not our greatest common factor. Let's try 32. Okay. So your groups do not have to look like mine, but please make sure there's 32 in each, and we keep shaded separated from unshaded. So I have 6, 26, 32. 4 plus 20 is 24. Plus 6 is 30, plus 2 is 32. Then I get 32. And I have 20 left over, so that is not our greatest common factor. Let's try 16. So make sure you have 16 in each group. Keep your shaded separated from your unshaded. Now 16 is a perfect square, so maybe we can use some of those perfect squares to help us out here. Also do 2 times 8. And I have 4 left over, so that means 16 didn't work. Let's try 8. So I'm using the fact that 10 take away 2 is 8 to get these groups here. 2, 4, 6, 8. 2, 4, 6, 8. And 6 plus 2. Again, your groups do not have to look like mine. 2, 4, 6, 8. 2, 4, 6, 8. I have 4 left over, so 8 didn't work. All right, let's go ahead and try 4. Four is a perfect square. I'm going to use that to help me. Make groups of 4. Make sure you keep your groups, your shaded, separated from your unshaded. You don't want to do something like this, because we actually have a half and a half then, and that just makes it more complicated. You want to make sure you keep your shaded separated from your unshaded. So 4 worked. I have no remainder, so our greatest common factor is 4. Let's count up our total groups of 4. The way I did it, I ended up with 5 in each row, so I'm going to count by 5s. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 35, 40, 45. And I have 5, 10, 15, 16 that are shaded in. Let's go ahead and, since we've done our division with our model, let's go ahead and prove it with our algorithm. I always want to be able to do it more than one way so that we can be certain our answer is correct. So we're going to divide 180 by 4 and 64 by 4. So we know 4 quarters is 100 cents. Numbers the same, zeros the game, more on top, no need to stop. Let's try 10 times 4 is 40. Numbers the same, zeros the game, more on top, no need to stop. 10 times 4 is 40. Numbers the same, zeros the game. So I add these together, 25, 35, 45. And then here, let's see, 10 times 4 is 40. More on top, no need to stop. More on top, no need to stop. 5 times 4 is 20. So use what you know to be able to get to these answers. Whatever's here, I'm multiplying to here. So I get 4. 1 times 4 is 4. Numbers the same, zeros the game. Add these up. 10 plus 5 is 15, plus 1 is 16. Now let's check. Divisor times quotient plus remainder. Divisor times quotient plus remainder. Since our remainder is 0 for both, and the identity property of addition says when you add 0 it stays the same, we don't need to actually add the 0. 4 groups of 5 is 20. 4 groups of 4 tens is 16 tens, plus 2 more is 18 tens. 4 times 6 is 24. 4 groups of 10 is 4 tens, plus 2 more tens is 6 tens. Okay, 64, that matches our dividend up here. Check. 180 matches our dividend up here. Check. So our numerator is definitely 16 and our denominator is definitely 45. All right, let's go ahead and fill in our data collection page. Okay, trimester 2, week 1. Today is 11/7/19. And our fraction for today is 16/45. Let's go ahead and get out our number line. We did groups of 4. So last one we have is 14/45, so 15/45, which is equivalent to 30/90, and one of the many equivalent ones to 1/3. Okay, and then today's 16/45. There are no lines below it because this is our simplest form, or equivalent fraction in lowest terms. There is an equivalent fraction in the 2's also, because 2 is a common factor. All right, let's go ahead and put your number line away, erase your worksheet, and thank you for joining me.